Thank you, Reverend Andrew Nagaba, the rest of the clergy, Dr. Peace Simzi, and the children, all of you esteemed donors. Having had the great speeches that were given before, both by the Archbishop and the family, I think mine will just be maybe to smoothen a little bit what you've already had. And the point is that today we have not only come to mourn the passing, but to celebrate the life of a man who left a lasting imprint on the lives of many. For me, this is deeply personal. I have known James for close to 60 years, and ours was a bond born of youth, tested by struggles of our times, and strengthened by shared experiences and mutual respect. I first met James in the 60s and got to know him closely in 1973 when he was a first-year student studying Bachelor of Commerce at Mulengera University. He was a close friend of my late nephew, Herbert Musamunyu. Even as a young man, James was already engaged in business ventures. I recall the two of them coming to consult me on some business matters, evidence of his early drive, his curiosity, and enterprising spirit. Our paths converged again after the fall of Idi Amin's regime. James became one of the courageous young political leaders who decided to challenge the status quo, and in the 1980 general elections, we all fell under the banner of the Uganda Patriotic Movement, UPM. During that campaign, I contested for area member of parliament for Chinchizi, and he gave me unwavering support. That election, as history records, was marred by fraud and injustice, which compelled us to take a different course to the bush. To wage an armed struggle for justice and freedom. James supported the liberation struggle in every sense, as we heard his children say. He did not join the front line with a gun, but he supported us with conviction and courage. In February 1981, when the Obote government learned of my involvement in the attack on Amama Barracks, they stormed my home in Bugoro. My wife, Jacqueline, who is not here because she's out there in the field. Narrow escaped by jumping over the fence behind the house Our young children were captured and held hostage in the attic of the house for 4 days. James, they were liberated by the International Committee of the Red Cross. James and his dear wife, Dr. Peace, took Jacqueline into their home and shielded her until it was safe for her to leave. That act of personal risk, sacrifice, and solidarity will remain with us always. When we finally captured power in 1986, James continued to contribute meaningfully to national development. He was a member of the Presidential Economic Forum, PEC. He was a member, as he had, of the Investment Authority Board, and many other activities he carried out. Although we later found ourselves on different sides of the political divide, he contested against me, as you may remember, for the parliamentary seat in Chinchis West, and later joined FDC. Even all that notwithstanding, our personal relationship remained respectful, cordial, and strong. Political competition never eroded the bond we had formed over the years. And in the last 15 years or so, we found ourselves working together once again, unified by a shared vision for our community. Indeed, even while he was in the opposition, James continued to serve his people diligently. President Museveni, organizing this, he called us, and I gave my opinions, recognizing his integrity and his ability, entrusting him with a critical task to lead efforts to expand the growing in our region of tea as a means of fighting poverty. And James delivered. At that time, we had only one tea factory. Today, thanks to his leadership and commitment, we have 8, from 1 to 8. He extended tea cultivation throughout Kigezi, the whole sub-region, and even into parts of Garuga. That legacy alone is monumental. James, as we heard again, was also the visionary behind the construction of the Chi Airfield. You heard the Archbishop make this point very well. Today, I just want to add, it is the only other airfield in Uganda, aside from Entebbe International Airport, with at least 4 scheduled flights daily. It has become a critical gateway to our region, boosting tourism, commerce, and connectivity. That too is part of the enduring infrastructure he leaves behind. Dr. James Garuga was a man of enterprise, courage, and community. whether as a politician, a businessman, or a private citizen, he served with conviction and clarity of purpose. He believed in action, not rhetoric. He did not allow politics to divide people. He built bridges, not walls. Yuppies and the children, I extend my deepest condolences. I know this loss is measurable, but I also know that James's life was not lived in vain. He touched lives, he uplifted communities, and he left behind a record that speaks for itself. As we bid farewell to him, we celebrate a life well lived, a legacy that will endure for generations to come, and a spirit that will live on in the hearts of all who knew and loved him. May his memory be a blessing, and may his legacy inspire us to strive for excellence, compassion, and service in all that we do. Fare thee well, my friend. You run your race with honor and dedication. May your soul rest in eternity.
People of different political views and different political parties, all of them united in support of James Musingu's ideas and in sympathy for his departure. So he has helped, even in his death, to bring that whole of Uganda together. Therefore, there is every reason for you and me to ensure that idea of Ugandans remaining united in spite of their political views remains a major point of support for Musinguzi, because that's what he fought for. When I see Rukwango here, easily interacting with Matia Kasaidi of a different political party, when I see Amriat here, interacting with some of Tessa, same Jovoru people here, romancing with Musasizi. Isn't that a big achievement for Musinguzi? So, brothers and sisters, let us emulate that political example of our departed brother. And if we do so, I do believe that Uganda will, instead of walking, start running. And in that respect, let's not be divided. Let's not become enemies because we belong to different political parties or because we have different political views. Different political views are very good for the country because the country will receive them and eventually take a line that will be most beneficial to the people of this country. And indeed, James's crusade was to get the best for the country in terms of politics, in terms of building the economy, in terms of modernizing Uganda. He is not with us now, but has left us a legacy which we should tightly embrace and push forward to ensure that Uganda becomes a stable, democratic, modernized and united country. May Musinguzi's soul rest in eternal peace.
Thank you, our former Prime Ministers.